Okay, so this short video is going to be a guide on how to set up a macro in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Windows to mute the game sound. Well, not actually mute the game sound, but to set it to 10%, although you can adjust the macro settings to make it a full mute if you want to. This guide is how to mute specifically PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on its own, so that your Discord and other programs like music that you might be running are not affected. Okay, first of all, let's bring up the site. Okay, I've found this post on Reddit by a poster called Whiter here, guide how to mute unmute game sound with a keybind. Okay, let's read this. Hello, I am a fellow Turkish streamer and I was trying to mute my in-game sound so me and my viewers wouldn't have a headache because of the playing and lobby sound. I searched everywhere to find a proper solution to that and I found something that I can share with you guys. Okay, I'm also a streamer and have the same problem with the variance in game sound volume. So I was looking for something that would solve that for me. As I spend a lot of time playing the game, it can actually cause earaches or headaches if you're playing for long sessions, listening to the variance in game sound, as it's not been fully optimized yet. Anyway, the two programs that you're going to need, this link will be in the description of the video by the way, so you can follow the instructions here and copy the text file. But the two programs you're going to need is nCommand and WinHotkey. So going to this link, you can download them straight from these links that the guys already posted up for you. Once you've downloaded the two programs, you just need to unzip the nCommand to a folder. Now I used a folder called volume kill macro. Okay, then in the same folder you need to make 4 new text files, which is simply text documents, and follow the instructions and call them, name them as you was told to in the thing. But one thing that you might notice is, for example, let me do one here. Depending on your Windows settings, if I name this to say mute.bat. Okay, now when the file executes this file, although I've renamed it .bat, it's still actually a text document, so it will just load it, which isn't what we want. The problem here, which some people may not know, is to do with your Windows folder settings. So you just need to load your file options, file explorer options here, go into view, down here, and it is this one, hide extensions for known file types. You need to uncheck this, apply. You will then have the full file come up. This is what enables you to actually change the file type so that it will work in the program, and it will come up with an error warning here. And when you do that, it will come up with a warning here telling you that if you change a file name extension, that file might become unusable. Are you sure you wish to change it? Yes, because we're changing it to a .bat file or a .vbs file, which is the type of file that the program needs. There we go. The two .bat files are the files that will actually be doing the work. The VBS files simply tells the program to run the .bat file without opening the command window and possibly pulling you out of a full screen application. Okay, I'm going to delete this file that I don't need. And let me just show you the files. Paste it in as the post tells you to into mute.bat. Paste it into mute.vbs. Just a quick note here, if you wanted to change it from 10% to actual mute, you just change this minus 0.9 to minus 1. Or if you wanted it to say 20%, change it to an 8. Okay, there's the unmute.bat. There's the unmute.vbs. Oh, in my case, unmute. I'll put an extra U in there for some reason. Anyway, then what you need to install is WinHotkey. Once that's installed, this window will come up. It runs in your taskbar, so you can access it from there. You need to make a new hotkey. When you make a new hotkey, you just tell it to launch an application, and you launch the .vbs file for each one. So you find the mute, call it mute, unmute, call it unmute, or if you look on both files, the mute file here, mute.vbs, mute, There's my key, Windows, Alt and down I used to do that. And my unmute, there we go. I could correct that actually, but I'm going to have to put it in here first. Okay, that's fixed. Now that the macro's set up, I've changed my settings back. I've changed my Windows settings back to normal, so it's not showing the extensions because I don't need that on all the time. Then I can just close this, it will continue to run in your tray anyway. Now, if I open the volume mixer and load the game, I'll show you. Okay, so in the game now. Let's trail along to player unknowns at the end. It's already muted at the moment, let me just show you it restoring it. There we go, hit the macro to unmute and to mute again. Or set it to 10% actually. And now let me show you in game and one issue that you might encounter while using this program. Okay, so we're in the lobby now. As you know, this can get pretty loud when everybody's firing off the guns and running about, so there's full sound. And if I hit mute, down to 10%, much reduced. Now one of the problems you might notice here is if you happen to have the sound set to about 80%, like so, and then you use the macro, what will happen is it will actually mute it completely. Because the reduction in volume is relative to where the slider is already set to. An easy way to get around this, unless you actually want it to be muted, is to, when it's at about 80, before putting it down, unmute it first, so turn it up then down. There we go, then you'll be able to have it set to exactly where you want it, so you can just toggle through that way. I use Windows, Alt and up and down arrows because I don't have them bound to anything else, so that's the easiest way for me to do it. Okay, I hope that helps. There you can see the difference straight away.